Welcome everybody to the Daily Huddle. My name is Chase Steele Greye. Thank you so much for being here, family. You know I love it. I love being here with you, of course. And today we're gonna have a little conversation about the plant-based way of life, or plant-based flow, if you will.
The Daily Huddle is a growing tribe of passionate people who want to uplift humankind through their work and throughout their communities. We invite you to elevate the way you experience life through rich and inspiring conversations with today's thought leaders. Be prepared to challenge your views about leadership, health, money, spirituality, communication, and relationships. Welcome to the Daily Huddle.
For those of you who are joining me for the first time, or joining us for the first time, my name is Chase Steele Greye, and I am the host on a day called Health and Wellness Wednesdays, which is today. We speak about all things dealing with health and wellness and things, I say, just to make us feel good, right? To have a better flow in our life, have a better flow in our body, our temple. Today's topic is plant-based in 2025, right? Or how are we going to eat plant-based in 2025? And I'm going to give you just a few things. There's definitely not enough time to go into everything that I would like to say. Definitely not. So I'm just going to touch on some things. This is a topic that is somewhat pushed against or pushed back on many different levels by certain people. And I get it. I understand. I get it. I was not always plant-based in my personal life. I grew up eating everything. My mother cooked everything. I ate the pork and the chicken and the ribs and everything you could think of. I had it when I was younger. Then I'd start to go, what is this plant-based thing? This is kind of cool. I like this. And I'm high energy. I'm on the go. At the time, I was traveling around the world to different places on the cruise ship and sampling different foods or whatever. And then I got to the point where I realized, oh my gosh, this plant-based thing is it's a good thing, it can really help out. So I took a lot of notes. I have so many notes on this that is crazy. Like I said, there's no way we could go through this at one time. But let me just start out by saying that let's talk about what these words mean before I get into some heavy information. When we say plant-based, right? Think about the word base, your home base. You could be plant-based and still indulge in other things, right? If you're a vegetarian, no meat, no fish, no chicken. But at the same time, when people don't eat those things, they still may have other things, dairy products, so on and so forth. I know a lot of vegetarians that don't do any of that. There's all these little subcategories that we have to be very careful when we speak about them, because it used to be just a couple categories. Now there's like 5 categories. So I always say to people, stay away from labeling yourself one thing, right? Eat food, or what is that saying? Eat to live, don't live to eat. Someone said that to me a long time ago. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So when we speak about vegetarianism and the no meat, no fish, no chicken, so on and so forth, that's one category that has been switched around a lot over the years, right? Then you have vegan. Well, a stark vegan person consumes nothing from any animal at all, right? Even recently, I was doing some research and I found out many vegans don't even eat honey. And I was like, wow, interesting. I'm a fan of the bees. They do a very important job. I like what they do. I respect it. I love honey. That's me. But again, I don't consider myself a vegan either, because from time to time over the last couple of years, I've had a little salmon. I've had a teeny bit of chicken just to taste, but I don't eat those things on an everyday basis, right? Just giving you a platform. So let's say another subcategory. There's this thing called lacto-vegetarian, where you're plant-based, but you eat things that may be dairy, but they're diet, right? So You can do, you can do certain kinds of, what do you call it? It's basically plant-based things, but you have dairy, but those dairy products are also not, real. So you can make dairy from certain things that aren't dairy, and you say, I'm getting my dairy that way, right? If you understand what I'm saying. And then you have the ovo vegetarians, right? No meat, no seafood, but they might have a little eggs from time to time, right? Again, these categories are very, very diverse, and I just give you one blanket thing to do, but don't go overboard. I would tell you, take the meat and the dairy away. There's amazing ways to eat outside of that. But for people who have eaten that way most of their lives and feel like they're in that quadrant and they want to stay there, do it with moderation, and read voraciously. There's so much information. It's crazy. I am an information addict. I have information all over me. I have books everywhere. I carry 3 books with me, moleskins. I write it all down. So I have this information. I just want people to not get bogged down in one specific place and feel very rigid about it, okay? And I wrote down some of the myths about the plant-based lifestyle. The number one myth about a plant-based lifestyle is what? Anyone can guess it, of course. Protein. Protein. We grow up being told that protein comes from these meat products. This is where we get our protein. This is where the most protein is. And we understand that that is true on many levels. However, when I was younger, I didn't know how that when I was consuming the meat and so on and so forth, all the other things that were being put in the meat. No one talked about that. They only talked about the protein. So, and I know you've probably heard this before, we get protein from beans, from lentils, from tofu, from nuts. Look at the animals that are not meat eaters, right? The zebra, the deer, the gorilla. Look at that musculature that they have. A gorilla could pick you up with one arm and throw you like a tennis ball if he wanted to. How is that if he's only eating plants? Think about that for a second. So when we think about protein, and I really implore you to research this, everything I'm saying. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a voracious reader. I have tons of information, and I feel like I'm in great shape for years now, for multiple reasons, right? Everybody's different. I'm no better than the next person, but I walk around conscious of what's going on and conscious of what is available there based on the information, right? This is not like something I'm making up. It's the information, and it's there. It's there for you to read, indulge, take care of yourself with it, right? The other thing is that people say it's expensive. This is a myth that people have been talking about for a long time. And what I say to them is this. Is it more expensive for you to eat well and live longer, paying whatever that is? Or would you rather go to the doctor and him or her give you thousands of dollars of vitamins, medicines to take daily, so on and so forth, to pull away all the things that you've stressed your body with over 10, 15, 20 years? First, ask yourself that question. Then do the research as it relates to how your body reacts to non-processed food, right? Processed foods. Research things like high fructose corn syrup. Whew, my goodness. Research this different kinds of sugars, salts, fats, different things that are put into the food. Research them, pull it open completely, and you will understand what I'm saying. You'll say, oh, I get it now. And then people say that it's restrictive. It's a restrictive way to eat. I don't want to eat so rigidly. Well, let me say this, as I said in the beginning of the presentation. Don't restrict yourself. Put yourself in different situations where you're eating different foods, but know that after a while, you'll develop a pattern, and your body will get very used to eating plant-based. I keep reiterating that. Make plants your base, and then go from there, right? So Another myth is that, oh, well, I can't be plant-based if I'm an athlete. Again, wrong. You can look at tons of athletes in any sport you think about. There are actual vegan athletes that you look at them, you would say, wow, so many things are soy based right now. And the myth is that soy is specifically one of the culprits to increase breast cancer. There's been lots and lots of research. And what I can tell you is that overall, soy is actually pretty safe. It's when you overconsume it, that's when it happens. That's when the things can happen that may not be so good, right? Again, do your research. Don't take it from me, right? I'm one person with a specific journey, but I implore you to definitely do the research. So remember that in the whole journey of milk, there are ways of creating milk now that are super easy, right? You have oat milk, you have almond milk, you have coconut milk. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Research those kinds of milks as well to make sure, oh, is this the kind of milk that I want? So on and so forth, right? The plant-based generation or the movement has gotten so big that now people are making things that they say are plant-based, right? Breads, pastries, buns, cookies, salted snacks, so on and so forth. And then, of course, I had to talk about this, the Beyond Meat and the Impossible Meat. Please, please do your research. There are many benefits to these things, but know your body and your limitations, because for some people, eating the Impossible Meat or eating the Beyond Meat will not be good for them because of the high contents of certain things that they can't eat over time. No matter what I say on this presentation, it all boils down to one thing: moderation and controlling the consumption of certain things. You can't overdo it, because I've heard people say, well, yeah, you plant-based people, you know, you think you're doing a great thing or whatever, but you're putting too much soy in your body, or you're lacking the protein, or what about the B12? I have never in my life, in the last 10 years, heard more people talk about being deficient in B12, protein, and having an obsession with gluten, right? All of the marketing has gotten into our head in so many ways, but certain people are just walking like robots. They're not doing the research. Do the research on the things that you could possibly do to enhance your flow without assuming that certain things are bad. That's all I want to say about that, because, oh my goodness, people are like really, they go over the top with it. So those are like the major myths. Now let's talk about benefits, right, of the plant-based movement, right? Benefits. First and foremost, and I have so many things written down here, the plants that produce the phytochemicals and antioxidants, that is so good for us, okay? I don't have to tell you how good it is to be outside just around plants, just to touch plants. I'm a tree hugger. All this energy that happens from the plants themselves, right? Then, I'm sure you've heard this before, the plant-based diet, it takes down so many risks of diabetes, of heart disease, of stroke. Remember, plants, they do what they do. They have a system. We can watch the plants from our perspective and say, man, they just keep getting it right. They keep growing. They keep pushing. They find a way to go around things, and they're fed by the sun. And the sun, eureka. Why would we not be outside getting more of the natural elements to help our body be in a more fluid place, right? And then also, this is an important one that I wrote down. We're talking about gut health. Trillions of bacteria live in our digestive tracts, right? Now, when you look at things and you say, well, what am I putting in my body and what am I replenishing, right? Your actual, what's the concept I'm looking for? The gut flora inside of us, right? Plants take care of that in a way that you can't understand unless you do the research on it, right? Always replenishing the gut flora with plants. Oh my goodness. You have no idea how it will change you. And then also the immune system, right? when we talk about plants, we're talking about plants that go in and basically fight against the microorganisms, but also kind of neutralizing toxins that are inside of us. I don't know if anyone's ever done this or understood it fully. If you eat, I don't know what it is now, a handful of greens, I think it's a handful of greens a day. If you do that every day for 6 or 7 days, like you're going to eat spinach, you're going to eat kale, you're going to eat romaine, you eat it, I'm telling you, you feel the difference. It's so amazing. I think the greens are probably what we eat the least if I do a survey amongst thousands of people, right? More greens is so important. I have a saying, I used to use it on the other call. It's greens, 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 water, 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 color, color, colors. I'm telling you, you will notice your skin changing. You will notice your respiratory system changing. You will notice you'll have energy in a different way than before. So give that a shot. Also, people talk about inflammation in the body, right? And when we talk about inflammation in the body, we can talk about a lot of different things with inflammation, but specifically cardiovascular. I have written down here also that when you're reducing inflammation, oh my gosh, this could be the difference for people developing cancer, people developing dementia. These things, once you get into a plant-based diet, trust me. I wanted to get to, I'm going to say this really quickly, and I'm sure most of you know about this already. The tools, right? I think I have all of these. These are some tools that I've used over the years that I still continue to use. First being the food processor. What an incredible invention that is. You're talking about cutting, chopping, making it smaller, different kinds of things. I mean, you can make all kinds of stuff, soups, everything, right? Look into food processors, look into blenders. I can talk forever about blenders. I'm not even going to go into that. Look for blenders. Look to find a really good blender. It has so many levels, so many things I could talk about. I have here salad spinner, a peeler, an air fryer, a juicer, a mandolin, and a tofu press. Talked about tofu a little bit. Tofu, although very good for protein as well, it is also considered a processed food. Remember that, right? I don't want people to think that I didn't say that. It is a processed food. I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this because there's some stuff I wanted to say that I can't get to today. So,
my good people, all I can say for the end of this particular episode is pay attention. Pay attention to what you're doing around yourself and how you're ingesting whatever you are. You're important to the whole. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
At the Daily Huddle, we agree that the best way to kick off the day is to adhere to Patty Dabrowski's 7 principles for having a happy body, sexy skin, a laughing spirit, and a rewarding life. Give of your time, your full attention, and of your unique talents. Move your body to keep it feeling energized and alive. Eat mostly plants. Plants are the purest fuel to help you reach your full potential each day. Sleep. Sleep is how the body repairs itself and readies us to give us our best every day. Stress less. According to John Perkins, stress is just a problem without a solution. Choose your solution and dismiss the stress. Laugh out loud. From your belly to your chest and with your head tossed back, you will fire up your endorphins and bring more energy to everyone around you. Love, most of all love. With your words, your thoughts, your actions, power them with love and watch the way you experience life elevate to all it can be. We thank you for joining us on the Daily Huddle. We are a growing tribe of passionate professionals seeking to inspire a new generation of leaders. Until next time, go out and share your unique ability to impact the world. See you next time.